sentiment here is that the Yankees are likely going to take this game. What do the Twins need to do in order to shock the Yankees in this winner go home?
For me, I think the Twins just need to start fast. That's always key when you're an underdog. Try to really get, after Luis Severino, try to put some runs on the board early. When I think of this Twins ball club, I don't think that they have a real high-powered offense, so you certainly don't want to dig yourself a hole and try to play from behind. I think that most of their key players are young players. When you look at a Byron Buxton, even a Eddie Rosario, Jorge Polanco, they don't have a lot of playoff experience on this roster. So if they were to fall behind and try to dig themselves out, I don't think that's something they're capable of doing. So certainly when you're on the road, it helps to, I don't know if you take the crowd out of the game, but it helps to build confidence if you can get a lead early. I think that would be the best way for them to try to pull off this upset.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I totally agree. If they're going to win the game tomorrow, they're going to have to score first. They're going to have to play from ahead, and they're going to need Ervin Santana to eat up some innings and go deep into this game while you start to play into the nerves of the young Yankees, who scored the second most runs in all of baseball this year behind the Houston Astros, had the second best run differential in all of baseball. So this Yankees offense can be very potent, and if they get you early, if Judge hits a bomb early, if they start getting ducks on the pond, Sanchez has a big moment, the crowd gets into it, then all of a sudden you give Luis Severino, who's so dominant and is one of the hardest throwing righties in all of baseball, you give that young horse some early run support, and then you get the crowd feverishly into it in the Boogie Down Bronx. Look, my dad's going to be there tomorrow, and I'll tell you, single-handedly, he'll get everyone riled up because he's pumped for the game like everyone else. If you make those fans, like my pop, start sitting on their hands, and all of a sudden waiting. When's this offense going to come? And everything gets a little quiet, and it's not as much boogieing down in the Bronx. Well, then that's how the Twins, that's the game script that Minnesota can follow to win this game. And it plays into the fact that Ervin Santana is a guy that typically throughout this year, when he's been really good, he eats up innings. He has quick innings. He can pitch to contact and get deep into the game. And that's something that I think Paul Molitor is leaning on Santana for. And that's why I think he's opted to go with Santana, who maybe his stuff isn't quite as good as Jose Barrios, but his mentality is one that I think could keep him a little cooler in a hostile environment on the road. So exactly like CT said, get on him early, score some early runs off Severino, unnerve him in the crowd a little bit, make the Yankees play catch up, and that's how the Twins can win this game and pull the upset.
How much are the lofty expectations of the young Yankees, like you guys mentioned, going to affect them going into this game where they're the minus 240 favorites?
I don't really think that plays into it because much how I mentioned that a lot of the Twins players don't have any playoff experience. A Judge and a Sanchez, they don't have a ton of playoff experience either. We've been calling them the baby bombers. They kind of been playing over their head all season. I heard Aaron Judge talking about how he's hit the most home runs at Yankee Stadium, even more so than Babe Ruth. And what is that like? And he was like, it's crazy, but it's not something I really think about. I just go out there and play the game. So I think they can block all that sort of thing out in terms of they're the favorite and everybody expect them to win and just go out and play. When you're young, to me, it's almost like a carefree attitude. It's like you're playing the game like you're a kid. And I think Joe Girardi is going to try to impress that mentality upon his ball.